You're listening to the Soju Sessions, episode 22 on the SojuTalk Nation podcast feed. I'm your host, Crispy, also known as Crispy Wonton, or simply just Anton, and on today's show, Mina from the SojuTalk Nation and host of the Dumpstercast joins us to catch up on life, talk about adjusting as he moves back onto campus for college, and what that means to be away, forming new relationships, finding new spaces with real people, but also how Discord has kind of helped bridge that gap for him. We do talk about finding common interests with some of the people in his dorm, specifically Girls Planet 999, and then we do get into some of the elimination stuff that happened on episode 5. So yeah, we do talk about our favorites, our top 9, and all that fun stuff. So hope you enjoy. Coming up, my chat with Mina on the Soju Sessions. Joining Soju Sessions this week, all the way from college, a few weeks in, so, starting to feel the pressures of reality, but, we're here, and, we're happy to have him to kind of decompress and give us his college experience. We have Mina from the SojuTalk Nation. Welcome to the show, Mina.
Hi. Good to be back.
All right, so you're about 2.5 weeks into your first semester in in-person college.
Yeah, in person.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been taking online courses for over a year or so, but now you're in the full college experience. How's it been so far? How are you adjusting?
It's chilling, I guess. I've met a few people. I won't call them friends yet. I call them acquaintances, and I've talked to them mostly online before because of like COVID. Um, People keep saying, "Oh, watch out for the freshman 15." I guess what they call it, like you gain 15 pounds or something. But I think I've lost like 4 pounds just walking around campus and only on a pescatarian diet. So it's been up and down, as people would say, or as I've been venting lately. I would say it's up and down lately. Yeah.
What's been the biggest surprise for you so far?
Um, Workload, because I basically did online college because of COVID again. Damn you, COVID. For almost a year now, and just being on campus is just a huge switch up because I finished, or well, last year I did like a fall spring semester, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do some summer classes to get some GE courses out of the way. So I only really had a month break in between summer courses and start of this fall semester. So I guess I put a bit too much pressure on myself to keep grades up and do classes that I didn't have time to like compress and relax and actually think about the realization of actually moving on to school in person, but in like the in still in COVID era. But hopefully it gets better. I think it'll get better.
Yeah, it's a weird transitional period, especially with everything that's going on between COVID, between moving, and also kind of the ebbs and flows and conflicts of the world regularly, right? Have you? So you said you've made some acquaintances. Have you had any, I don't know, connections with people that you feel like you're able to trust and open up with?
Um, like one person, I would say, because we basically took. I think it's just like mere coincidence that me and this other person had the same, basically at least 2 or 3 courses over last year and over the summer. We all had the same classes. So I guess I got to know them more and more and more as we took more courses together. Because at first we were like, okay, we're just in the same course. Spring semester, we're like, oh, what a coincidence. We're in the same classes again. Summer courses were like, how did you sign up for the same courses in a summer semester, which no one signs up for? And then again, this semester, we're both in the same class again. So we just, we decided just like to hang out for a bit, chill, just talk more in person this time, eat lunch and stuff. And I think it's just one person, but hopefully I meet maybe a few more people, because I haven't joined any clubs yet. Or I joined a few clubs and they haven't really had meetings, so I'm really hoping to meet more people in those meetings.
What's been the biggest adjustment, change, surprise, however you want to phrase it, to dorm life compared to living at home?
Um, I would say keeping myself on a schedule because most of the time, once I mean, I keep myself on a pretty good wake up and sleep schedule, but like once I hit the apartment, I kind of slack off and lose track of time because either I'm doing work or just messing around online. Because I usually just scrolling through Discord or just doing video editing stuff for stuff I do. But doing that and then juggling with school is kind of a different change with me because I think I live pretty independent. Like even before I moved to college, I think I got used to chores, kind of like cooking for myself, keeping myself on task. But I'm a bit more free now, so that's just been scheduling would be the main issue.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I would say it's a very similar experience to a lot of people moving to college, moving out for the first time. It's just one of those things that it's a rite of passage in the United
Hmm.
States. I don't think it's been any different than it has been over the past like 30, 40 years of like multiple generations of people going to college, doing their thing. I would say like different eras probably had different levels of freedom and different
Hmm.
accessibility to stuff. But I mean, I'm old. I went to college 10 years ago. And I can tell
That's not
you,
that old.
it was about the same. Um, Seriously, just like going off into. So I actually had an apartment the first year I went
Hmm.
off to college. I went to UC Irvine, and it was nice having the
LA
freedom.
gang,
Yeah,
LA.
yep. So
Let's go.
Southern California. But it was just interesting, like having to make my own schedule. Um,
Mhm.
I felt at least the classes itself gave me that structure, and the quarters that I was the most successful in is when I was able to kind of stack things up in a more I don't know, in a way that made sense. So I think one of the successful quarters I had like academically was when I had like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all classes, but I was in class from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But
Ooh,
then
that's not fun.
but it wasn't like back to back to back because like I had gaps throughout the day. But at least like I
Yeah.
knew I only had like half an hour or 45 minutes between classes, so I forced myself to be at school all day. I forced myself to like, really like use that time appropriately.
Hmm.
But I will say the quarters where my schedule was all over the place, where I either had like all evening classes or I had classes like every other day or just like really weird shit. Um, I found myself waking up at like 11, cool, and trying to get work done at like 1 a.m. It's like, yeah, totally, I could wait until I only need to study for 2 hours. Yeah, no, that shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
Not
Um,
sustainable. Um, I guess like with your schedule and the way that you're able to like structure that side of yourself so far, do you anticipate going off into like different college sleep schedules, patterns, habits? Are there any challenges that you foresee with studying and scheduling moving forward?
um, Not necessarily, because because most of my courses still are online, but it's more like a hybrid, I would say. So like, let's take for example, I'm taking a chemistry course right now. So the lecture portion is online, but the lab portion of it is in person. So I really enjoy the like actually being in lab, physically doing shit, and hopefully not blowing things up. I mean, I passed the like chemistry. safety test, but I'm still not confident in myself to blow something up in that lab. But I don't see. I say it that I probably won't mess things up in my schedule, but I'll most likely do it, especially during like midterms or like during exam weeks if I have exams like in a week. So I'm gonna just say it. I have like a biology and a chemistry exam of the week of the 13th. So at that point, I might stress out and maybe stay in the library more than I usually am. But other than those exam weeks, I think I'll stay to like my sleep by 11, wake up by 7:30, and be out of my apartment by 8. So like, and hopefully not come back to my apartment Monday through Thursday before like a reasonable time that I finished my work, and then like I have time to relax a bit. I think I'll be able to do it. But I say that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get that early motivation, right? At the start of
Hmm.
any new semester or quarter, and you feel like at least you can focus a little bit, and then you taste the freedom, you taste the all nighters, and you're like, that was terrible. I'll never do that again. And then
Yeah.
you end up doing 4 or 5 more of those in the same week. It's great. It's a vicious cycle. Um,
Well, I think
but
I did two all-nighters in high school, junior year and then one more time in senior year because I slacked off on my college applications. But other than that, I haven't done an all-nighter. One, because I don't drink caffeine, and then two, I like a bed. So those are my main those are my main like reasons why I don't do all-nighters.
yeah, it's once I lie down in that bed, it's game over. So
Oh yeah.
I've had to do all nighters on like certain campus like facilities, whether that's like study rooms. Sometimes the library is open 24 hours during finals week. Yeah, no, you have people literally sleeping in public places, floors, couches, you know,
Yeah.
outside during finals week. It's wild. You'll have fun experiencing that, I'm sure.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure.
So the transitional period going into a new environment, a new setting, can be tough for a lot of people. What's been most concerning for you, and what's been the biggest challenge that you've felt so far?
Um, Not to get in a bit into it, because I talked to my RA. If you don't know an RA, it's a residential assistant for all the viewers out there. But anyways, I talked to an RA about it, like, because I suffer from like slight anxiety or like separation, you would say. I'm pretty close to my family. I won't get into it, or else I might start crying. But I talked to her about it, just more like the psychological part of it, because I never met with a psychologist or a therapist before. But just more of mental health stuff. Like, because I didn't really care for my mental health before this point. So it's more about that.
Yeah, and that's not usually a skill or something that's focused on at any point in life. I would say school systems, workplaces, they kind of expect people to know how to reach out for help. And
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, like even teachers have a hard time identifying and then encouraging students to address those things about themselves. It's a skill to learn. It's a way to navigate the world that we're not often taught. I mean, we're taught how to cook, we're taught how to go to the grocery store, we're taught how to, I don't know, buy things on Amazon, but we're
Mm-hmm.
never really taught to take care of ourselves and to
Yeah.
even think or look inward about mental health concerns. Most universities and even community colleges have a mental health support system that
Yeah.
is included in your tuition.
Yeah. That's what I heard because they said to reach out to a psychologist, and I'm like, that shit's expensive, isn't it? He's like, no, it's in your like fitness slash extracurricular portion of your tuition. I'm like, okay, might as well give it a try if it's practically free.
Yeah, you've already
Might
paid
as
for
well.
it. You've
Yeah,
already
basically,
paid
yeah.
for it. So just
Yeah,
yeah, just schedule
give
it
it a
in
shot.
one of those things, right? Yeah, college in the United States is typically the time when a lot of psychological ailments do occur or at least start to
Mm.
show. Sometimes they're underlying, sometimes they're things that have been bubbling up over the number of years. Sometimes they're pretty rapid and onsetting. Any number of factors. Everyone's different, right? But again,
Yeah.
it starts with kind of identifying that for yourself and being okay with talking about it with another person. So, props to you for at least like going to your RA and having her direct you in a place where she can direct you in a way that can, I don't, give you guidance. So
Yeah.
pretty cool there.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think like the night that we started talking, we saw a plane pass by because like there's a plane near us, or there's an airport near us, and like we got sidetracked and we started talking about planes.
Nice.
Not to get sidetracked, but the plane just passed by too. So
Hey man, it's that's how life is. You kind of just go with it, and
yeah,
sometimes you just need a distraction. Sometimes you just need a way to get on with the next moment. But
hmm
it's all about coming back and working through anything it is, whether it
yeah,
is kind of the mental health side of anyone's life or working through a competition, working through something that puts
competition.
idols together
Oh my God,
in
what
a
what a
way
transition that is. Oh wow.
that creates conflict but has the world captivated on the internet. We're talking about Girls Planet 999,
How
everyone.
how long did that take? How long did you think for that segue? How great of segue that was.
You
If you
know,
love that segue, like this video. That's a like right there.
thank you, thank
Come
you. You
on.
know what? Creativity just sparks sometimes, and I just see a moment, and I just go right through it. But let's get into it. So we're about the 1/3 mark of the entire series. We've all been keeping up with it on the Discord. We have a channel. We have threads. We've got a fan club. Surichi, let's go.
Gang, gang.
We've got a couple other favorites. But how has the show been for you so far? And let's start with this. How has it been having that be a talking point for you and your roommate, and apparently now people on the same floor as you?
Oh yeah, I did tell you just now, but I'm an introvert. My roommate's kind of an introvert, but he hasn't really been watching it. I've just been telling him about it. Um, when I overheard the people that were talking in like the main lobby, they're like, "Oh, Urina's group sucks." I'm like, the introvert in me was all like, "Oh, hold up, just stop here and talk to them, ask if they're okay." But I'm like, but I'm carrying my laundry, so I won't stop. I have to bring this up to my room. And I was like, I'm gonna remember your face. And I'm gonna meet you and I'll meet you somewhere else.
No, what you need to do is just play the theme song everywhere you go on your phone and be like, I
No,
stan Surichi. She is the
no.
one.
I've been walking around campus today just humming the theme like I'm like, there has to be at least one person that remembers that jingle.
Just say, I'm gonna be a star.
Oh God, stop.
That will get someone's attention, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
But one pretty cool that you found people kind of in the wild naturally. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I honestly, I don't, maybe I'm just out of touch, but the idea of like running into anyone about K-pop things in real life is just really foreign to me still. I have no idea how that works. So props to you.
I mean, I
Yeah.
have a water bottle with stickers, and I have a sort of like BTS keychain on my backpack, so that's a
Yeah.
conversation starter.
Yeah, like little trinkets, right? But like straight up
Mhm.
like a conversation is like Urina's group is trash and then you just dying on the inside. It's like, excuse me, Urina is the number one contestant at the moment.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
you are
Like
wrong. I think you have the issues.
you belong in Harold's basement. You have to hear him ramble, and how he hasn't been on a single episode of Soju Talk in a while.
Yeah, and then
I wonder
just
where he
ask.
is.
Yeah, maybe I should ask him to be on Soju sessions.
Yeah,
That'd be. I think we can make that work. I think that'd be kind
yeah.
of fun.
I don't think he could talk for almost an hour, but
Um,
Doug could. Who knows?
it, Doug could ask him, right? Because they're two
Yeah,
different
Doug could ask
people.
him. Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I hope that turns into something because I mean, this show, as you can see from the Discord, like we just talk about it nonstop. I think we're
A bit
all
too much.
super invested. I
I
don't
can't keep
disagree.
up.
Um,
I can't keep up.
it is a lot. I do lurk more
Mm.
often than not, but I do just try to watch the show on my own time whenever I can. Um, but yeah, let's get into the show a little bit. What do you think so far, and how do you feel like it's been playing out as far as who gets screen time, some of your favorites prior to elimination? How has it all worked for you?
Well, going into Girls Planet, I really only paid attention and like voted in Produce X, RIP X1. I didn't really watch like Produce season two, Produce 101, which was IOI, and then 48. I just like watched small tidbits and clips of like the elimination, the what's it called, the stages. And I didn't really know what I was gonna do going into a girl group oriented um survival show. So I'm like, I'm gonna go in blind. I'm gonna go with one person and I'm gonna go with it. Ends up I had and I think I have like three consistent like people I'm gonna cheer for. I think we'll get into that soon. But like in contrast to the Produce X, this show is it's really good. Editing kind of shady, but it's pretty good so far.
Right? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things to get invested in with this show.
Yeah.
Um, I would actually have to thank the community, the Soju Talk crew, and just everyone who's participating in that channel. That we are pretty good about reminding each other that yes, this is an Mnet production. There will be shady editing, and we are just gonna have fun with it. Because I think far too often people take things too seriously. And it's like, do you not see what's kind of happening? How they're manipulating you into this situation? But we do have fun with it. I think we're a lot lighter about it than other places that I've seen types of conversations. Not going to point out certain places,
Hmm.
but I'm glad to have us here because we're pretty chill about it. That being said, there's one contestant, pour one out for her, who has had zero chill as far as the attention she's gotten. She happens to be one of your favorites. Saiyan, tell me more. Tell everyone about
Yeah,
your
man.
affinity for Saiyan.
Dude, okay, listen. Saying, okay, because I watched the basically all 99 intro videos just to pick out like a pretty
Hold on.
and
You watched all
no, okay.
99.
I would in quote unquote watched. I just like scrolled through and I'm like, no, no. Like, I watched like the 10 seconds of like a few people. I'm like, no,
I think that's
no,
still
no.
a lot of a lot more dedication than I would say myself or maybe even most
Well,
people. So props to you first of all. But go on. How did you land on her?
okay, it was pretty cool because like I'm like no, no, and then I'm like, why the hell is she wearing a yellow vest and like holding like a stop sign? I'm like, what the hell? So I just watched it. I'm like, okay, Saiyan, and then Choi Yujin, and then Suruchi, and then the Liang Zhao and Lang Chao
The
twins, the
twins.
twins. Go, let's go.
Damn.
But back to Saiyan. Like it was just a normal girl. Like she's just a girl that I vote for and cheer on for. And I guess that's all like she's not dedicated. She's not fit for the group. Bad editing. And I was all like, it sucks. I'm like, you suck. Give her a chance, damn it. She has time to grow. Shut up. And then I think it was like someone compared or said that One Young was 14 and Sane's 15. People have different maturity levels and people have different what's it called speed. Oh, yeah,
Developmental.
developmental. Like they have their own speed. Let her be. If at the end of the day she's more successful than all of us because she's on like on a show in Korea to be. She's a trainee, first of all. That's just already a hard process. And then for these survival shows, you have to go through a preliminary audition just to get into the 99. That's already hard already. So I just think about that. She would be like in my books more successful than most of us.
You know what? I give you credits. I give you props for being dedicated, for sticking with it. To be fair, with One Young, I think it was more of a comparison on being hard on Saiyan. Does it make sense? Where it's like I think the standard should be the same if you're looking at One Young and you're looking at Saiyan, and because of the age similarities, one person is clearly, I guess, meeting that standard that you would at that age better than the other person.
Yeah.
Which is how it played out on the show, and then obviously they kind of forced you in a certain perspective with certain things that she did, certain hunger needs that she needed fulfilled.
Hey,
as
the
opposed
girl's
to
hungry. The
as
girl's
opposed to
hungry. Let her
practicing.
be. She's a growing child. She needs sustenance. Okay.
Yeah.
But if she went to go get ramen, that's not sustenance. But anyway.
Yeah, she probably got like instant ramen because she's 15 and probably doesn't know. But I think honestly, she's young, definitely got time to grow, already showing a lot of capability. But it turned into a lot of really fun conversation and a good time. So I'm not mad. I think we're good with this like being the result of it, because I didn't feel as strongly as our friend Malfiar on the server, but I think he was also leaning into the bit, and I respect that because that's kind of funny. But yeah, I think we're all here for a good time, and who knows if this show does well. She might be on the next one. She's got time.
There's no way Mnet's gonna do. Okay, here's my prediction. I know it's only like episode 5, but the next Mnet show is gonna be a boy version. We discussed this earlier in voice chat. Boys, what was it?
Boys World.
Yeah, Boys World. It's gonna be Boys World 999, and then gonna be Girls Planet 999 season 2. Watch. Boys Planet. They're not Boys Planet.
What would be the pattern? It would not be Girls Planet 666. That would be wrong. So perhaps Girls Planet 333, but still like 99 contestants, and then somehow they do math where like
a trio.
I don't know. It's
3 cells of 3 people.
Because they went to Produce 101. And then Produce X 101, and they produce 48, which is essentially the same. It's just they call it 48 with like another math system involved. I don't know. Yeah, I think the girl's got a future ahead of her. Let's just put it that way. She's got if she continues to grow, I think she's headed in the right direction.
Good luck to her in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck.
So you went over a few of your favorites. Do you have a top 9 now that we've gone through the first stages of elimination? Or at least like a top handful that you're looking at, that you're rooting for, that made it to the next round.
Okay, so let's just get the obvious out of the way, because all of us cheer for Choi Yoo-jin from CLC, Suruchi, Miss blue, gray, silver hair,
the ace.
Yeah, the ace. I forgot to bring an ace card with me. I was gonna bring an ace card and put it on my phone case, but I forgot. I just have my Luna cards, but and then I'm also going for Lee Chaehyun, not Kim Chaehyun, not the P9 girl, the Lee Chaehyun. She's the girl that if I describe, she was on Yes or Yes with the Wenji Sein pod. If you look closely, she has a heart on one of her cheeks. Like, she drew a heart on her cheek. That's Lee Chaehyun. Liang Zhao, I'm also going for. She's also in my top 9. She is... Which one was she? She was Oh My Girl's 5th season, the one in white.
She was the team that won.
Yep, she was
the twin that won.
Yeah, the twin that won. Felt bad for the other twin, but hey, it's one of the twins. So
it's natural drama. They gotta separate the twins. They gotta get that moment where they both just like can't speak on the microphone and are just like crying and just devastated. Ugly. Yeah, it was ugly crying. It was perfect. I loved it. More pain.
I I was watching that. I think it was like 7:30 in the morning. Like I have just woken up, called my mom. I'm like, morning. She asked what was I doing early in the morning. I'm like, I lied, so I said nothing.
Nothing is better than watching Korean girls,
Yeah, so
Japanese
now I
girls, and
was on
Chinese
that
girls.
bed, like I'm just lying on my side, just watching her, and I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm cringing at some ugly crying. I'm like, at 7:30 in the morning. But um, before the eliminate, do you want me to go like a top nine before or after elimination?
Yeah, whichever ones were your favorites, and then how did that change for the 54 that made it through? 54, right?
54. Jesus, 13 times 8, 54. Yeah. So Choi Jin, Surichi, Lee Chae-hyun, uh, Izaki Hikaru, um, before the elimination, it was Kim Se-in, R.I.P. Then there's a K30 girl, a Lee Young Young. She had like zero screen. Well, the first episode she was on the screen a whole lot, but it was mostly because of her reaction to a lot of the stages. Her stage for the preliminary round was not on air, so she did "I Can't Stop Me," and she did the "Risky Risky Wiki Wiki" part of the song. So I'm like, I'm voting for her, even though she was K30. Um, oh, the twins, both of them. I voted for them,
You
and
are a
then
degenerate, sir, but I respect your choices.
listen. I originally voted them unironically, and I'm like, oh God, I'm actually voting for them. Like, I'm actually voting for them for real
with
now.
with true heart and sincerity.
That is
Again,
that's
I'm
true.
I'm good. You're genuine. This is who you are.
Yeah, this is
Don't deny
me.
yourself.
Yeah, it's
Um,
cold in my room.
yeah.
Um, and then the last one I didn't know who to pick, so I chose Kai's sister.
Oh,
Voting
okay.
Kai's sister.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
I'm
let's
all
start
right.
with
All right, give
that.
me 2 minutes. I need this. Okay, so here we
Go
go.
ahead.
Hyun and Kai's sister. I will not call her by her first name. Nothing against her as a person. I'm sure she's gonna be a great entertainer, performer, something in the future. She's got a good foundation for skill. All that being said, there is no reason that she is better than half of these girls. It's
Yeah.
absolutely absurd. Okay, so notable eliminations, you have Yu Dayan and Lee Sun Woo. Half of Wow Thing, half did not make it through, only because TXT's sister got all the votes. Okay, cool. So is this show a talent show or a what's the word? A popularity contest? I don't know. Cool.
At the end of the day, most likely it is.
True. I'm just feeling the kind of way. I'm just ranting, but it's okay.
Go pop off.
Ultimately, I'm good with like the twin being there because it's kind of funny and her team won. But Hyun and Kai's sister, man, it's like she carried her two cellmates who no business being there, and her team didn't win. I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
Someone do math for me. Help.
Listen, I'm looking at their pod right now. Hyuning's sister is K6. The Chinese is 16th, and the Japanese member is 11th. In comparison, the pod below them is Kim Soyeon, Fu Yaning, and how do you say this? Nonaka Shana.
Shauna.
KO K8, C7, J6. That doesn't. Let's go down to 9 actually. Okay, 9, Kim Dayon, K7, Utami, C23, sure. Sakurai Miyu, J8. She
Yeah,
the
absurd.
votes are from the votes. It's the
Yeah, it's
votes.
absurd. Also notable on the bubble was Bora. She was 17, 16 or 17. Yeah, she almost didn't make it because of however it would spread up. Like if she didn't win,
Oh
imagine
my god.
her making it. if she didn't win the challenge, the Oh My Girl challenge. I don't know. I just needed a minute. I needed to get off my chest because that's just eating me up this entire time. All right. But yes.
Listen, I would have thought Wenji's. I'm kind of biased, but Wenji's pod could have made it if Hyunin Kai's sister's pod didn't make it.
There you go.
I'm just saying because Wenji stepped it up.
They were on the bubble.
Yeah, they were there. They were candidate. Not to spoil anything, but they were a candidate for 17th.
Yep. There you go.
So
we're a little spoiler. Like we're not doing a deep dive. We're just doing our feelings. We're just getting things off our chest today. Yeah. So the saved one. So let's do a little bit of a spoiler. The 3 saved members. This was a revelation. This was Mnet editing at its finest, building up drama and tension. Not necessarily that I was super surprised, but they had me watching, waiting for the announcements. So for the J group, the saved member was Ikema Ruin. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
You got it.
I made a note for her when I was watching her stages. It was pretty good from what I remember. I can't remember it too detailed, but if you are curious about her, anyone check her out because I think she did pretty well for her fan cam. And then we had Wenji. That was some drama. That was just like, all of the editing to show that she, doesn't want to go home. She's on the older side. She had her amazing rant on her cellmate saying. So that was kind of cool.
It was her birthday.
And it was a birthday.
That was her birthday.
Yeah, that was big. And then we had K group, the build up for Kim Hae-rim. So yeah, I feel like I emotionally carried that because I didn't want to commit to being the Kim Hae-rim fan club, thinking that she may actually be eliminated. But again, she is half of Wow Thing, and we all loved Wow Thing. So yeah. So quickly, my top 9 prior to elimination was Yujin, Doa, Kim Hae-rim, Hikaru, Yorina, Mashiro, Ryuichi, Wenji, Kaibing. Okay. My top 9 after elimination, more or less the same. Kaibing, Wenji, Ryuichi. This is the switch. Shauna is up there.
Uh-huh.
She did excellent. She got a lot of screen time also with being in Fuyaning's cell. And then Mashiro and Hikaru. Yeah, that's the same. Kim Hae-rim. This is a change. So Warren actually got me to really pay attention to her. Kim Chae-hyun. So the other yes or yes.
Okay, Kim. Okay.
Yeah, the other yes or yes. And then I made a list. I'm just going to say them. I'm not going to go into too much detail. These are all the ones that are just like, I want to put you in my top 9, but I can't. Gwen Maya, Kim Doa, Kang Yaseo, which she caught my eye. I see it now. Jiyoon, the cell with Ryuichi and Hikaru, and Yujin.
Oh, okay.
Like I want to have all of these great performers make it, but I can't. So my freaking simp brain said, you know what? I'm gonna give it to the Korea line for yes or yes, and we're just gonna throw G1 in there. So that is my top 3 for Korea is the yes or yes Korea line. Kim Hae-rim, Kim Chae-hyun, and Hugh G1. Yeah, I am a simp. I'm sorry. All right. To close out our Girls Planet 999 conversation, what are you hoping for? We've got some structure now. We know the talent. What do you want to see moving forward?
Okay, well, looking at the preview of episode 6, if you watched all the way to the end, they said, and I quote, if I remember correctly, your current pods will disband. So looks like they're mixing up the pods now, which I don't appreciate, but I also kind of appreciate because there is a chance, even though it's small, that Suruchi and Young Zhao get into the same group. So it is small, but it's never zero. So there's that chance. But then I don't understand, what was the point of these pods in the first place? I don't like the pod system, just in general.
Yeah, the pod system was not very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think So the main show did mention it this week. They should have just done the top. How did they do it? Like
Three.
the top of each country, right? As opposed to
Yeah,
the
that's
cells,
awesome.
which would have made sense because right now,
Yeah, that
like,
could have been way much straightforward.
yeah, because right now, like you're having really popular kids pull the less talented ones, and then the less talented ones get
Yeah.
dragged and eliminated. And freaking imagine it again. I'm gonna just repeat this. Imagine if Bora didn't make it, everyone would
Yeah,
flip the
exactly.
freak out.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that was the one. I think most of the idols that debuted, the strong ones at least, made it through.
Yeah,
The Bandit girl did not. The other Fnatic girl did not.
Busters did, right?
Busters did.
Who is Busters? Nugu. Uh, CLC, Cherry Bullet both get one in.
Yeah,
So that's
so
good.
I think the talent is rising, right? I think that hopefully Mnet is being mildly to slightly to very honest about these votes and at least like letting them speak. But
Oh, I do hope so.
we just I'm just gonna be blissfully ignorant and like hope that that's the case.
It's Mnet.
Yeah,
You can't. It's Mnet. M Snake, as people would call them
yeah.
on Reddit.
All right. Let's close things out. Mina, thank you for joining us. But with this transitional period in your life, very similar to the transitional period of all of the contestants on Girls Planet 999, different phases, whether it's teenagers going into adulthood, whether it's young adults kind of making it into the real world. You're kind of in the middle, right? You're still in school, but you're moving into that adulthood period. You're going to be able to buy alcohol on your own soon. So that's going to be
No,
pretty cool.
I'm not. Okay, listen.
Soon, I said.
Okay, listen. Not to get sidetracked or anything. I don't like to party. As I said, I am an introvert. I don't like going to parties. Therefore, I don't like smoking. Because I tried it in sophomore year. I shouldn't be saying this. I tried it during high school. It was not a good experience. So I said to myself, I'm not doing that shit again.
Yeah, no,
Drink
yeah. Go ahead.
Drinking it in moderation. That's a different story. Drinking for the taste, sure. Drinking for pleasure, no.
Yeah,
There's a difference, but yeah.
there's a spectrum, right? I
Hmm.
think I actually don't think there are very many like party people on the Discord. I mean, and Chad always posts pictures of his drinks in front of his monitor, so he's just chilling, talking to us. Joke.
Joe Kev was drinking mead earlier
Yeah,
today.
Joe Kev's just chilling. So I think for the most part we're pretty chill with our alcohol consumption. So I mean, like I said, just if you need recommendations for when you can buy alcohol, just to get vibe in alcohol, we're here for you. We
Yeah,
got you.
yep.
Um,
Definitely gonna try and find alcohol here.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's stores. There's plenty of
Yeah. It's not like there's a frat
groceries.
house. There's like a frat row right in front of me.
Yeah.
It's like 5 frats and like 4 sororities like over across the street. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, with all that being said, I know we do have a number of people at different points in their life on the server, whether they're your peers or even younger than you. Do you have any advice for them as they transition back into the school year? Because summer is over, it's September, we're going into fall.
Oh
Um,
balls.
yeah. What do you have any positive words for anyone who might need it?
Uh, Salu, I've said this to you before. Stop. Do school first, please. Simp second. School first. But yeah, that's for everyone else. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Don't. There's gonna be little people who are gonna understand this reference. Don't be Diane Bryan. Google search him. Diane Bryan. Bryan with a Y. You're gonna figure out what I mean by that. Don't be Diane Bryan.
I'm just gonna take your word
You
for it that
understand?
that is a positive
It is a positive. Don't be
message.
Diane Bryan.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I hope everyone listens. Yeah, Google search it. If you don't, I totally don't need to Google search it. I know exactly what you mean by that. No problem. And a closing question for you. What are you listening to right now as far as K-pop, other music? I know there's a number of things that you could go into. Pick
Oh
two. Pick two things
God.
that you want to plug as far as
Okay.
music.
Okay, I'll do one K-pop, one non-K-pop. So there are a bunch of albums coming out. but I don't care about them because both of them sucked. It was Drake and Kanye West. Those both sucked. But the non-K-pop one that I've been listening to a lot is Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem. They both came out with a song, Family Ties. I would really recommend it. I really love Kendrick Lamar. I'm a Kendrick Lamar simp, I would say. Really enjoy his music. For K-pop, ooh, this is difficult. This would either be Unbi's Door or pretty old song, but in Hypen's Give and Taken. I've been really wanting to try to do their choreo, which I know damn well I probably won't. But in Hypen's Give and Taken is a solid song. Unbi's Door, also a pretty solid song.
Nice. Good.
I know
Good.
people don't. I don't know if people really like the in Unbi's Door, but I really like it. Whatever.
I was talking to Mal about this earlier this week. It initially is very interesting, confusing to listen to, but once you give it a chance, once you kind of let the song sink in, it does just play pretty nicely. So it's a grower. You gotta give it some time, right? You can't just like on first impression let that be how you feel about the song and let that dictate.
Here's what my opinion on that song is. Like, the part that really got me was this part of the song, though. That part. I'm like, that's a bit cute. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the song. Thomas Simp, leave me alone.
No, she does really cute things. If you watch the music
Exactly.
video, it goes nicely together because
That is correct.
visually she's all there. She has the poise of someone who is a little bit older and more mature.
Hmm.
She is 25, I believe, Korean age 25. I could be wrong.
I couldn't tell you. I don't memorize people's birthdays.
I know she's on the older side. I can never know when exactly or how old anyone is in Korea because it's either Korean age or like your birth year, and I just like guess something that is 2 to 3 years in that range, and hopefully I'm right.
Yeah,
Um,
if you get someone's age plus or minus two, close enough.
yeah, I think so, especially in Korea.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely check out Unbi. The Door, the music video is really cool. The mini album is pretty cool. Open is what it's called. Um, yeah, Mina, this was fun. I'm glad you're able to kind of get some things off your chest, whether that's with life, college, or Girls Planet 999. Um,
What a
we,
mix.
I try to use this show as just a place to chill and kind of have a little bit more open discussions on things. So I really appreciate that you're able to open up and be candid about a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dumpstercast has been on a bit of a hiatus. So I'm still trying to figure out how to film stuff on a MacBook. I didn't bring my PC. So we're getting there, folks. We're getting there.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get there. A lot of people are creative on Mac products, so
Yep.
once you figure that, and you're in college, so perhaps you'll even do a live show with your friends eventually. I don't know.
Ooh. I did join a Filipino club, so sometime soon.
Someone there has to be tech savvy slash already having a podcast. So
And K-pop related.
someone, I'm sure you'll make that connection and then
Mm.
introduce them to the SojuTalk Nation, and
That's such
be
oh,
part of the world.
oh God. Oh, I don't think I said this, but I do have a Soju Talk. I don't think it reached the camera, but I do have a Soju Talk sticker on my MacBook, so that can
Nice.
make some conversation.
Yeah, well then you could be the hype man, the selling point on campus. Get people to listen, get people to join Discord, subscribe, and then follow Therese on Soju Talk Fan TikTok because that generation loves short content.
My generation. That's my generation. I don't do use TikTok. That's my generation
I
I'm
don't mean
talking
that like in a
about.
negative way. I mean that in like, oh, the podcast is too long. Let me watch 10 seconds. I was like, oh, sick. Let me watch all the 10 seconds. It's like, all right, cool.
And then you'll end up watching the entire hour and a half
There
Soju
you
Talk
go.
episodes.
See?
There it is.
All right. Well, that does it for this week. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Soju Sessions on the SojuTalk Nation podcast feed. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify or your preferred podcast platform, and continue the conversation on the Soju Talk K-pop podcast Discord. For Mina, this is Crispy, and this has been the Soju Sessions.
Bye.